Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. Isn't that fun? Yes, we are. Hello, friends. How are you doing today? I am going to get our little music thing rolling here and have a little background. Oh, wrong one. That'll get us something. There we go. Well, welcome, folks. On a Monday night, it's always fun to be here with you all. And let me see, I'm going to share this out so we can get some people in here. How's that sound? Hope you're enjoying your evening so far. There's been a lot of news coming out. I'm sure you've probably heard it. All right. Sharing it out to all of my Facebook friends out there in Facebook land. Yes. And today, friends, we're going to talk about something very, very interesting. And it's something I came across, a little documentary movie about something, and it really piqued my curiosity. It was very intriguing to me. I had some preconceived notions about it, but and I'll tell you what those were in a second here. But let's see here. Yeah, it has to do with something called the Chronoscope. Have you heard of the Chronoscope, folks? Because you're going to hear about it today. And right here in the program. The Chronoscope was a device invented by a woman back in the 1930s. Let me just see something here. Okay. All right. How's that going to be? Yes. Okay. I just do a little bit of stuff here, folks. No big deal. And yeah, the Chronoscope. So this woman, her name is Charlotte Keppel. She was an Irish woman. And she invented this thing called the Chronoscope. She was very interested in science from a very, very young age. And I guess she was in on some kind of nun school or convent. And she kind of blew up where she was staying. She was making Tesla coils, and so she was kicked out. And so she kept on keeping on with the scientific advancements that she was doing. And she came up with this thing. I mean, it's just fabulous. And I'll do a screen share and show you some images from this. And also, I'm probably going to put the link to the video in the chat, or certainly into the hello, UFO Pirate 17. How you doing, Dark Brain? All righty. We're cooking with Crisco now, aren't we? Yeah. Here we go. Yes, this woman, I mean, she's been erased from history. You talk about Tesla being erased. This woman was really erased. I mean, here she is. Charlotte Keppel. And there is her chronoscope. And now the thing is, this thing could pick up images from the past. She struck on this idea that light goes in waves, and the waves near Earth are a very short wavelength, so you can see into the past by getting the right wavelength. So she was able to, the only way this thing would work was if you brought it to the location. And whatever you pointed at, it showed you images from the past. Totally fascinating. And in this documentary, some of it is real footage, I believe, and some of it is, you know, done by Hollywood to make it look like it was done back then. So after watching this, I wasn't really quite sure if it was indeed true, or if this was just some kind of made up thing, or, you know, some movie idea. But so a while ago, I asked, when I was talking to Andy, when I first found out about this thing, the Chronoscope, I said, Andy, I found out about this thing called the Chronoscope, invented by this woman in the 30s from Ireland named Charlotte Keppel. Charlotte Keppel. And he goes, oh yeah, we were briefed on that. I thought, what? It was real? He goes, oh yeah, it was real. And he goes, he even said, if I remember correctly, I'll have to ask him again next time he's on, if I'm remembering this correctly. So forgive me if I'm remembering it wrong, but I could swear he said that that not only were they briefed on the Chronoscope, but the chronovisor, which was the device that he had access to, was developed along with some of that same technology. So that helped the chronovisor to come about. So there you go. Yeah, we're cooking here. We got 5 people watching and 5 likes. I'm gonna like it. Now it's 6. How do you like that? Look at that there. So I encourage you all to like, share, and subscribe. I mean, if you're here, you probably already subscribed, am I right? So I hope you're all enjoying this Chronoscope. I mean, it's quite a find. I'll tell you what, I'll put the I'll put the link to the video. I wonder if I can do that for educational purposes. Is this allowed? I don't know, but it's from YouTube. That's the video that it was on Time Q Celador's channel, and it's called 1933 Chronoscope, time viewing device created by Charlotte Keppel, visual time travel in the 30s. Yeah, apparently it's true, which is absolutely mind-boggling. Wouldn't you think? I mean, don't you think? How does that grab you? Does that seem kind of weird? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to share into the chat here my official merch shop, where I have these fabulous shirts. And here's just 2 examples of the shirts that you can get, yes, and you can wear, and show your support for full disclosure. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. If you have a green screen, you'll be able to see right through it like that. It's the Truth Quest logo. This is like a long sleeve tee. And then look at this one. This is, yes. Remember Meet the Beatles? Here's Meet the Greys, okay? The first album by Andromeda's phenomenal pop combo. Look at that, just like the Beatles. So there you go. You can get yourself all fancied up and go out on a town, and people will say, whoa, look over there. That looks like a truth quester, or a cleverly disguised non-truth quester. So if you're a deep stater and you want to hide amongst the normal people, the cool people, get yourself some of these clothes, I'm telling you. You want a chronoscope? I know. Well, the Nazis destroyed it. So that's upsetting. This guy, he was an archaeologist in Nazi Germany. Hi, Colleen. Tonight we're talking about the chronoscope. The chronoscope was an amazing invention. Amazing invention. Chronoscope, I think, is the name of like a show for watches for like a long time, but it was also the name of this thing. Hi, Mud Rabbit. Hi, Colleen and Terry, everybody. Brad. Hey, my link works. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Brad. Yeah, the chronoscope. Man, this woman invented it. She's like a hero. She is like a truth hero because, you know, she found the truth of things. The Nazis didn't really like that so much. They brought the chronoscope to sites where they were excavating this Nazi archaeologist. He was kind of crazy and he had some crazy ideas and he wanted to prove his crazy ideas with the chronoscope, but the ideas were not being proven by the chronoscope, and that upset him. So yeah, it was quite something else. I mean, here she is with, oops, share button, not the end button. So there she is. Where is it? Right here. Okay. There she is with Einstein, Albert Einstein. Now, how do you like that? She was very popular worldwide. Headlines all over the world. She was in the headlines. She was a phenomenon. I mean, she was very celebrated. And they completely erased her from history, folks. This is just a shame. That's why we have to demand the truth, full disclosure. We need to know all this stuff. I mean, of course they didn't want us to know that they could see into the past back in the 30s. Why would they want us to know that, right? They got out of the bag back then, but they put it back in. How did they fit that monkey back in that bag, man? Well, now we got the intranet, and it's not going to work anymore. Can't keep us silent. We're coming out, and we are demanding disclosure, okay? We need disclosure now. Full disclosure now. How does that sound? It sounds like the thing to do. The thing to do. Okay, now here she is, Charlotte Keppel. With the chronoscope. It looks like they're looking at images from the past, from that area. You have to bring the chronoscope to a specific area to find out what happened in that area in the past, which is different than the chronovisor that Andrew Pashago talks about. This one you had to bring it there physically. So phenomenal, amazing, just unbelievable, but believable. See, this is what happens if you get interested in science, friends. You can come up with some crazy cool inventions, huh? All right, here is some of the headlines she was in back in the day. Scientist invents camera that sees the past. A little article there. Very interesting. Let me check the chat and see how the chat's doing. Holy smokes. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah. And I dropped the link of the video that I pulled all these images from, so you can go ahead and watch it. It's so fascinating. It's so sad. She was hunted down and they were going to hang her because her findings weren't backing up what the Third Reich thought the past should be, you know. Yeah, you wish that she should have published her technique and plans. Yeah, wouldn't that have been nice? That would have been a good thing, for sure, definitely. Yeah, it's so amazing, friends. It's, you know, if I just keep thinking, you know, I would have been a heck of a lot more interested in history class if I would have known, if we would have been learning cool stuff like this, you know, stuff that really actually happened, you know. I mean, come on, everybody would be clamoring to get into history class, find out about that stuff. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Pretty darn amazing, I'm telling you. So this woman, she was 28, I believe, when she started this, when she got famous. And so that was like 1933, I think, something like this. So this is a long time ago. All right, I got to stop sharing that and go to a different picture because that was on that picture too long. All right, here's another one. I'll just do this briefly. So there's another pretty scientist makes history, woman invents camera that sees the past. You know, it was headlines all over the world. How did the world forget about this, folks? I mean, I know they tried to do the same thing with Tesla, but Tesla got revived somehow. Someone mentioned him a lot and boom, 100th monkey effect. Well, we got to do the same thing with this gal. But we need to know, you know, Andy's talking about this stuff from the 60s and 70s. This is the 30s. I mean, look at how long they've had this stuff. I mean, my goodness, what are they doing with it? Well, we got to find out, and we have to, we paid for it. All the money that we paid in taxes, paid for all that stuff. We, you know, in this country anyway. But so, yeah, we need to know. We need to know. And then, of course, when the Third Reich, oops, where is it? There it is. Charlotte kidnapped by Hitler's scientist. Yep, there it happened. And just as quickly, she was some kind of famous person, and all of a sudden, just gone. Just gone. So sad, so sad. But that's what happened. And then, folks, very sad indeed. Yes, the gallows. And she was going to be hung. But something happened, and in the video you'll see there's like an explosion and something happened and people are jumping, and I don't know what of that is actual footage. I mean, I'm sure 1933 they weren't really filming every single thing all the time, so I don't know if that's really, but whatever the case, she made an escape. She was rescued. She escaped from the gallows. It shows her taking off on a little motorcycle, sidecar, crashing through the gate. I don't know if that's true or not, but and then she made it over to the border in Switzerland, I believe, and then they lost track of where she was, so they don't know where she is now. So it's a total mystery. But when that German archaeologist, the crazy guy, when his crazy ideas were not backed up by what she was showing on the chronoscope, he started hitting the thing, the chronoscope, with his hook hand. Apparently he had a hook on his hand where he lost his hand. And he destroyed the chronoscope and he electrocuted himself. So, but yeah, and then she was going to be executed, and then she escaped. Excuse me. Excuse me about that. Yeah, so isn't that interesting? Yes. Looking glass, for sure. Yes. Yeah, it's, how did they keep this from us? I mean, there should be movies, many, many movies about this. I'm just, and, finding this out, when you think about Andy's story and, talking about the chronovisor and such, it makes that so much even more believable than it is already with all the witnesses that he has. But my God, I mean, it's pretty crazy, wouldn't you say? I would say. Yes, for sure. Yeah. I'm sure, I was surprised when I found this out a little while ago. I'd never heard of this person. And, I'm sure none of you people have ever heard it either. But it just blows you away at all of the things that happened that we just never knew about, And it makes you wonder what else there is that they've erased from history, right? And how much further along we could be than we are if this stuff wasn't kept secret, I know, definitely. Definitely a mundo, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'd never heard of this either. It just freaked me out, I would play the video, but I don't know, that's somebody else's video. I'll put it in the, that's what I'll do. I'll do that right now. I'll put the link to this video in the details of today's video, okay? So I guess I'll put it right here. I guess I better label it. All That ought to do the trick. There, now it's in the notes of the, I don't know how soon that gets updated. Like book burn, like burning books, kill the messenger. Yes, Jerry. Hi, Jerry. Yeah, it's how many more brilliant people with brilliant ideas. Speaking of brilliant ideas, remember I told you about the time machine that I was working on? Remember that? Maybe some of you remember I was talking about a time machine, time travel device that I've developed. Well, I'm a step closer, folks. Check this out. Look at that. At last, a real time device, time machine. Look at that. And here's another panel. Look at that. Go. Look how cool that is, right? Right? With a little warning, it says, hey, warning, this is a one-way time device. It can only take you into the future, okay? You cannot, I repeat, this device cannot take you back in time, only forward into the future. That's very important. And so I'll have pricing on this very shortly and be able to offer this, but it's getting very, very close, folks. I'm so excited. And, you know, you'll even have your choice of color of boxes here. We got, oops, yellow and green. Look at that. Maybe you won't know what color you're going to get. I think this is going to be the gift item of the year. I predict it's going to be the gift item of the year. Yes. Yes. Very, very gifty. Giftable. Very giftable. And so I have to figure out shipping and also, you know, shipping this time sensitive material and how that's going to all work. You know, I just don't know. This is all new. And let me just read a little bit of this for you here off of the thing. All right. This time device is complex, yet simple, futuristic, yet old-fashioned. The way you travel into the future with this amazing time device is as simple as time itself. Yes, folks, a time machine. Yes, and it's going to be for sale soon. So how do you like that? Oh yeah, it looks like that Toblerone, that chocolate, triangle chocolate bar. You accidentally ate your time machine. Oh no. Wow. That sounds like it could be some kind of indigestion problem. Yeah? You think? Wow. So yeah, I think you guys, if you want to, after you're done watching this, scroll back up, click on that link that I put for that Chronoscope, or just check in the notes of the video after, and watch that. I think it's like 20 minutes, but it's well worth the watch. And it's just such a fascinating story, you know? It should be a movie. You know, it should be a movie, and then the next movie should be about the chronovisor with all Andrew's information. Or else the Chronoscope could be incorporated into that, since he was briefed on it. He was also briefed on the Yellow Book by a guy named Cunningham. So I gotta try and track that guy down. But very interesting. Time machine. Yes, the time machine. Yeah, I have to figure out the pricing on it. You know, time crystals don't come cheap, you know. Oops. Did I say something about, oops, I think I let the cat out of the bag there. But just don't tell anybody. Good thing there's not a lot of people watching. Hey, Des Volt. How you doing? It is a movie. Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, thanks, Terry. Yeah, it's triangle shaped. I thought that was kind of cool. I was going to make it square, but I thought, you know what? It can be triangle shaped too. And I'm sure there's going to be some people that are going to go, oh, oh, triangle. Oh, that's because you're Illuminati, right? Oh, yeah. No, it's just a shape. Okay. Sometimes it's just a shape. Yeah, prism shaped. Dark Brain's intrigued. Oh, good. I'm kind of intrigued too, because it really does work. I've tested it over and over again, and it just keeps working. Sometimes better than other times. So it's very interesting. There's that warning, can't go back in time. So the problem is if you go too far in the future and you might want to come back because you're missing something, can't come back. Can't come back. Or at least I don't have a device that can go back in time yet. I'll probably be working on that next. Now that I got this one licked. Although I think it'll be a lot harder. Yeah. A lot of the stuff for this was really off the shelf. So I was really kind of lucky. But in investigating putting a product like this on the market, I was investigating it, and I got notified by some, how do you say, let's just say some 3-letter agencies, perhaps. And so I'm not going to be able to classify it the way I wanted to classify it. I have to classify it as something different. So a minor little glitch, but we'll work around that, and we'll get this out post haste. And we got the packaging done. I think it looks pretty good. It could be better, but I mean, you got to say done at some point, right? That's the thing. You can overwork some things. You can overwork them. Don't overwork things, right? Yes. I wonder, let's see. You know what? Maybe we'll open up the old telephony lines. You folks anyone want to call in? Do you have any experiences or anything you want to talk about? I want to try to avoid subjects that might get us bumped off of here. So if we can talk about maybe what you think about that chronoscope. I mean, it's pretty darn fascinating. And like I said, I thought, my original thought was, oh, it's someone who heard about the chronovisor and they're trying to make a movie of their own information. But no, Andrew verified that indeed he and others were briefed on the chronoscope that was invented by Charlotte Keppel. 28-year-old Charlotte Keppel, an amazingly brilliant scientist from the 30s. Fascinating. It was also fascinating that she kept messing around with Tesla coils, you know? So she was really, really deep into this. Edward Taylor asks, Aaron, are you in the future since you've done it but can't come back? Yes. Yes. Yeah, every time I do it, I go into the future and then I can't come back. But, you know, with this device, everything around you also gets transported to the future. Everything around you. It's amazing. It's amazing how it works. It's so simple. Wait till I show you. You're gonna freak out. You're gonna go, oh wow, unbelievable. You're gonna go, it's so simple. You know, why wasn't it thought of ages ago? Right? I think that's gonna be the response. That was my response when I figured it out. In the future, Dark Brain calls in. Oh, you think? Let's check. Let's check and see if anyone's calling in. Nope, nobody yet. Oh, you know what? I think what I can do is hey, Major Facepalm, how's it going? Glad to see ya. I'm glad that you're here. I'll take two time machines. Yeah, oh, Major Facepalm, we got to catch you up on what we just talked about. We got, I got the packaging for the time machine done, okay? So it's a triangle shaped thing. So there's that. So there you go. Time machine. All we got to do is figure out the mailing, the shipping, because it's a, you know, shipping something like this. I know it looks little, but it's very delicate. And I don't know, you know, what happens to these time crystals when they get jostled. Oops, did I say time crystals again? Boy, I can't keep a secret, can I? I can't keep a secret. Why can't I? I don't know. I'm too forthcoming. I must be just too forthcoming. See, I probably wouldn't be a good CIA agent. I'd be like blowing my cover all the time, right? Oh yeah, I'm Major Facepalm. Yeah, we were just saying that. Looks like that triangle-shaped foreign candy bar. Bubble wrap. Yes, bubble wrap. Lots of bubble wrap. Yeah. Oh, I saw a funny meme today. It was a mother kind of crouching down, and she was attending to her child, and her child had a face mask on with like characters on it. And the mom said, "Oh, honey, that's not the face mask you left home with." "No, Mom, I traded with Billy, and then I traded that one with Fred." Something so funny. I think that's hilarious. Yeah. Well, you know, I read that in the big thing in 1918, the last time this kind of thing happened, I'm not going to say the word. More people died afterwards from bacterial pneumonia than they did from the actual thing. They were trying to. Oh, T200 says, Aaron, does it work the same as the Invisimask? No, no. This you can actually see and touch and interact with. Yeah, it's an actual time device. It's quite remarkable. It uses various forces of nature too. It's incredible. Wait till you see it. You'll be blown away. And I'll be ready to unveil that soon, very soon. Yes, indeed. Soon, soon, soon. Like probably the next time I do a show, which would probably be Wednesday night. You know, unless I have a reason to go on before then. I don't know. You know, I just think some of these things are so important that aren't in our history books, that should be in our history books. I mean, we should be reading about, oh yeah, in 1933, Charlotte Keppel, 28-year-old Irish scientist, created the chronoscope. And we should be learning that in school. We really, really, really should. I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't be learning that in school. And about Angie's story and everything else. Everything else that they're hiding from us and keeping us, you know, I was thinking about it today. It's like we are the fish, and whatever they put in the fish bowl is what we consume, you know, and they're controlling all the stuff that goes in our fish bowl, which is, you know, terrible. It's not cool. You know? Am I right? I think I'm right about that. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to do this. Yeah. Then I can go like this, squish this up, and do 2 things, 3 things, 4 things at once, folks. Yes. We're multitasking now, aren't we? All righty then. Yes. Balloons, styrofoam. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Some other. Mermaid Kissy Cute. Wow. That's a heck of a name. I like that name. Wow, mermaid. We have a mermaid in the chat, folks. That's awesome. Yeah, mermaids. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. You know, apparently there are water beings visiting this planet, aquatic beings, and they really don't have any interest in the humans at all. They're concerned about their spending all their time studying the water, and whenever humans come around, they don't like them. They don't like the humans. So, hey, Penna Perspective, how you doing? Welcome to the programo. Thanks for stopping by. Check him out, Penna Perspective. He puts on good shows. Very good. He's a very interesting fella. He's down there south of the equator in like paradise. Very cool. Very cool. I don't think he shovels snow down there. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So your grandparents, Edward, might have known about Charlotte Keppel. So I think maybe I better screen share again and show some of the people who came in what this person looked like, and some of the things about Charlotte Keppel. So here is a picture on the Chronoscope right here of like a concert. These violin players are playing this concert, and this is the front of the Chronoscope. Back here is the other parts of it, and what it focuses on, it shows images from the past. So, concertos, missing concertos and things like this. They could find all that kind of stuff, or wherever. But the Chronoscope had to be in the area that you were curious about. So you wanted to find, like what happened in front of Times Square. You had to bring the machine to Times Square and then dial it to whatever past time that you were looking for to get the images. So fascinating, because she said, and there's some recordings of her voice in that video. I encourage you all to watch it. It's in the notes of the video here. But she noticed that she was thinking about light waves and how the gravity here on Earth would keep the light waves shorter, so that you could, if you could tune in a camera to the right frequency, you could capture past events. And she did. She figured it out. She did it. So very fascinating. And she said, history is being written in light, and we can discover it. The history, the actual history, is recorded, and it can be viewed. So fascinating. So incredibly fascinating. And so she was famous worldwide. And then the Nazis kidnapped her. The Nazis kidnapped her, and kidnapped scientist, sentenced to death. They were going to hang her, but she escaped over into the, I believe Switzerland. And then they lost track of where she went. Who knows, Some people think she might have made her way to South America, which is where the Third Reich ended up going. So I don't know if there was a connection there. So fascinating. Maybe she went on to work, for the secret space program. Very possible. Very, very possible. It was going on at that time. So could be extremely possible. So yeah, that's Charlotte Keppel, 28-year-old Irish woman who invented this incredible machine in 1933. Of course, the Nazis wanted it because they wanted to prove their archaeological, superiority of their whatever thing they had going, that they thought they had going. But none of the Chronoscope images matched what they thought they'd see. He said it was like a bunch of, primitive men in huts living with pigs. That was pretty much it. Not a whole lot of things to be proud of. But and that infuriated them, so they wanted to kill her, and of course destroy the machine. So that's, it looks like we have a guest, folks. Welcome, my good friend Michael Penna. It's like a bunch of primitive men. There he is. Just mute your stream in the background. And
hold on. 2 seconds. And muted. Thank you, Aaron.
All right. How you doing, buddy?
It's been a while.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I'm going to turn this music down a little bit. Is that too loud? You hear that?
No, that's cool. And now it's too low.
Too low?
You can turn it up a bit.
How's that? I can't tell. I can't tell from here.
I know, but I'm letting you know. Turn it up just a little bit more.
Okay.
There you go. That's perfect.
All right.
It's not too hard. It's nice tone towards background, and it doesn't let it just be into nothing, and it doesn't overtake the stream. Anyway, how you doing?
I think I just found a new sound man.
No, I'm a showman. My dad taught me from a very young age to be a salesman. So 7, 8 years old, I was learning all the rigmaroles of the sales pitches and everything else. I also did marketing magazines and that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was fun. You're live right now. I have no image, or you haven't let me on yet. Either way, I don't know.
Oh, maybe you have to undo it.
Whoa, okay. Yeah, I had the video muted on here. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think I have much control over that.
Oh, evidently, okay.
There it is. You disappeared for a second there.
So my Zoom was off, so that was my problem.
Okay.
Hey there, everybody. It's
there he is.
Actually interesting to be back on live again ever since I shot my mouth off on Jake's channel. So sorry, Jake.
I'll
try not to do that to yours.
Let's talk about like teddy bears and jelly beans and things like that.
Yeah, we can talk about anything news related. However, the other topic that we were talking about would actually be perfect. We can do that.
Yeah, the Chronoscope. What'd you think of that?
I hadn't gone back that far, but yeah, the Chronoscope would be interesting to actually verify facts. But what would you say if you would be surprised by what you found? If all of a sudden we go back and we see the way time really was,
well, then,
exactly how things happen, we get the absolute truth, the quest for truth.
I think that'd be great. That would be that would be whatever it is. The truth is better.
That would be the ultimate history class. That would be the best way, the only way to teach history.
Yeah.
You go back in a bubble to where you don't affect time. You just look at it. You just watch it, and you go, "Hey, look, kids, this is the Battle of Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Let's memorize Abraham's speech. You know, we have it here in the Chronovisor. We'll put it on repeat."
Yeah, exactly.
So there would be no misinterpretations. There would be no miscontextualizations and everything else. History would be pure. But what we do with that, I don't know. That's so,
but then you'd also have, and I think some people worry that they would have something like, presidential porn or something. They go back in time and find weird stuff that our presidents did or something.
Why would you be interested in that facet of it? You've got lots more interesting things to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying some people have said that might have. And in fact, when Andy talks about it,
would their visualization of it, would their voyeurism actually impact history in any way? Does the Chronovisor actually have an impact on the past event? Or are we just watching?
No, yeah. Well, yeah, it's neither here nor there, but I think it does.
You think that somebody's not watching our private parts at all times anyway? We're living in multiple dimensionalities.
You mentioned that every teacher should have a Chronovisor, but I don't think that they should, because then that would open up that Pandora's box. So what you'd have to do.
Which Pandora's box would it open up?
What you would have to do, hear me out, is you have to, for educational purposes, okay, there'd have to be some kind of agreed upon things that you're going to record and things that you're not going to record, and put them on
specific events in history. That's the reason why you got to get back,
so people can watch it. But you don't give them the actual Chronovisor so they could, see their neighbors or find.
Yeah, but then how are we supposed to? Well, yeah, you can't have a Chronovisor in every freaking school. Yeah. Yes, you're right. You would tape certain events and you would play that as part of history. Because after all, history, instead of having a history book, you would actually have a holographic set of the event based on what the the chronovisor films taught you. And so you would actually see a hologram of history.
Yeah.
Imagine doing that for Roman wars. Imagine imagine the Trojan horse. Imagine watching the people getting out of the Trojan horse in the middle of the night.
If that even happened, right? So we'd find all that stuff out. Yeah.
We could find out that it didn't happen. What if you found out that minotaurs were real?
Yeah.
And that guy really he killed anything that went into the labyrinth.
Wow.
Or maybe it wasn't, and it's all bullshit, and maybe we haven't had any presidents at all because this is all just a big fucking farce. It could for make-believe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I told you.
I don't know if you were here earlier, but when I first found this video about this chronoscope, I thought, oh, probably just someone who heard about the chronovisor and they're just trying to make some movie. It's their own idea. They're trying to,
It's different. It's not the chronovisor, it's the chronoscope.
Right. So I asked Andy about it. I said, hey, Andy, I saw this video about the chronoscope. Did you ever hear about that? He said, oh yeah, we were briefed on that. It was back in the 30s. This woman scientist did it. Yeah.
So it is something, okay, different. All right, cool.
They were briefed on it.
That's
So she was actually, and she was very popular all over the world. She was the headlines in history books and everything. They took her out of all the history books. They took her out. I mean, isn't that crazy?
That's what they do. They control what it is that we can actually know so that they can control the way we think, which is what they're doing now. It's the perfect long-term MK Ultra plan, and it's playing out perfectly. It wasn't the president of the CIA who said back in the 1960s, if everything that the American people believe is a lie, then we have done our job. I mean, that just tells you the days that we're in. That was 60 years ago. Oh, whoa.
This is an image from the chronoscope of like a violin concerto or something. So from history, yeah. And the rest of it was back here. But
that is really cool.
Yeah, so fascinating. It's utterly.
I was about to say, what were they looking at? But that's just that didn't focus in, I guess. That's the unfocused part. The white part in the bottom is what I was looking at. It almost looks like they're all looking into a kettle.
That's like a bright light. Yeah, I think that's just an effect of the process.
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining as well. But dude, that is just bizarre. Who says it's not a couple of guys in wigs in the 1980s?
Well, well, this for this video, they did reenact some of it. So I don't know what of it is original, what of it is,
the idea to go back and but see, those are images, but I'm sure that the chronovisor can actually see time frames, entire speeches, and that sort of thing. That would be the interesting thing for history texts and history books. And
I guess they can. They went back and they followed General George Washington on his every move. Yeah, so they can do that. They can zoom in.
After all, Andy was there, telling him what to say. So
and that's how they found out. They actually saw him talking to the General Washington.
They knew what he was going to say, so they made sure he said exactly the right thing.
Yeah, that's how they knew they had to send him. They saw him. Wow. And
it's circular reasoning. It's so bizarre, but yeah, we're there. Yeah.
So there she is pointing it at something. You point this part, and then you see back here on the other end. It doesn't look very complex.
No, but what it is, it's just transforming the image into the different dimensions. Like I said, we have dimensions layered on top of each other.
Well, she was picking up the frequency of the light of the gravity light wave that she detected. That's what she was doing, because it goes in a wave, and if you can match the wave, you can find out past events. I don't know, something like that. And
gravity and time, light, and everything else, it's all interrelated. And so whenever you affect gravity, you're going to affect time. And so if you can find that wave in the gravity waves, I'm assuming, I'm not a scientist, I can't tell you exactly how it's done, but I know the general ideas of it. And yeah, you would be able to, if you can affect gravity, you can affect time. Absolutely. Going without gravity at the speed of light, time slows down. When you go into a black hole, the same damn thing. You never actually reach the center. Time virtually stops before you reach that central point. But then again, long before that, your body is ripped apart into a million different pieces by the gravity, so it doesn't matter anymore.
There it is. Pretty scientist makes history. Woman invents camera that sees the past.
What year is that?
This is back like in 1933. She was all over the headlines, all over the world. Very celebrated.
Pretty scientist. Yeah, she's a looker too. Look at her.
Yeah.
Holy crap. With the mask and everything else. All righty.
There's a picture of her with Einstein.
Oh, wow. Now that's a thinker. Now, what would have Einstein thought about time travel? Now, that's really bizarre. Or looking into the past.
He met her, so it probably was
a topic, but that's more up Tesla's stream than Einstein's.
And she was always making Tesla coils. That's what got her in trouble. That's how she blew up her dorm room in the convent when she got kicked out of the convent because she blew up the dorm room from building Tesla.
Bright girl. That girl knew her stuff.
Here she is with Einstein.
That you're gonna have to send me that picture through Facebook, Eric, please.
Well, the video, this is just pulled off the video, so you can just watch the video, and it's in the show notes. So,
all right, perfect. I'll look that up.
Yeah, it's quite something.
That is awesome.
It's a very short, like a 20-minute video, but it's very informative. It's very sad in the end.
Look at that, the freedom of the times that we were in. I mean, everybody talks about us as being, look at that. They're all around. There's like 4 or 5 women around Einstein, as well as men and everything else. I mean, it's a relatively diverse group for the time. Oh, yeah. And that's the way America is. We spread ideas. We spread our knowledge from one to the other, and we contemplate as a group. And that's what we do. That's what the gathering is about. And that's, what these platforms are supposed to do. In fact, you're talking to me, we're 5,000 miles away. The platform allows the conversation. They had to get closer. She was physically next to him in order to share an idea. It was a whole hell of a lot more difficult back then than what it is now. But nowadays, it's also very difficult to actually share an idea, because if you say the wrong thing, it's all got bots managing everything.
Yeah.
So is that New York before? That's the chronovisor in New York. So she's showing what it was.
I'm not sure where it is actually, but could be. Yeah, I'm not sure where that is. It might be in Europe. She was, she was from Ireland, but she did go all over the world. She was very celebrated. She was very popular.
Okay, so
she was featured in Scientific American. She was featured in, headlines all over the world, in magazines.
That's freaking awesome. That's her in the hat.
Radio, yeah.
She really is a looker. That's why they said it's cute scientist. She had a brain on her. Look at her. Yeah. You go, girl.
She's Irish. Yeah.
That is awesome. Now, whatever the technology was there 100 years ago. Okay, this lady, phenomenal as she may be, developed that technology 100 years ago. Inspired by, in spite of the others around her, regardless, she developed it. She was promulgating it. She was promoting it. She was using the technology 100 years ago.
Unbelievable.
Why is that not more common knowledge? I mean, the series, we're supposed to have the unveiling of the UFOs and everything else, and we got zero when in reality, we're talking about, being able to see into the past. They don't want us to know the reality of what happened. I mean,
Right.
imagine if we looked into 1963 and we saw in the chronovisor exactly what happened. Imagine if we looked at certain historical points in time, reminiscent of the current situation, in the country. But anyway,
Hey, Celestial Soul. Jacob's in the house.
as he said, he's always in the house.
Best
Jacob,
show. Oh, thanks,
Jacob's
Jake.
regular for you, Aaron. He's always on there.
Yeah. Yeah, this is great. I'm glad that we're doing this. Charlotte Keppel, yep, that's her. Irish woman from Ireland back in the 30s. Developed the chronoscope. Unbelievable, but believable. Very smart. She was very into Tesla. So I'm sure she was hooked into that same type of mindset.
We are going to have to duck go the hell out of that name, definitely, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something we need to make viral. I mean, that's something special. You don't see that every day. I mean,
Right.
seriously, that's some seriously awesome stuff. But
yeah, and it helps to verify Andy's story too, since he was, briefed on it, and this was, obviously it was in headlines, so it's got to be searchable, right? So she's not erased completely. She's not erased completely, but fascinating story.
No, but it's the same way that they eliminated Nikola Tesla for 80
Yeah.
some odd years. He was always the villain in the cartoon series. The mad scientist was. They always put the face of Tesla in there, and they always had mad electricity going on everywhere. Frankenstein, mad electricity.
Yeah.
And that's how they destroyed Tesla, and they just put her into the memory hole. Mm-hmm. Nobody remembers her, nobody saw her, so she didn't exist. But what she created was phenomenal. If we could recreate that 100 years later, I mean, how incompetent are we that we haven't done that again? I mean, she's a brilliant woman, but still 100 years later, and we're still not able to recreate what Nikola Tesla did and everything else. That information wasn't lost, but it's not like they create the information. They found it from what they perceived around them. So knowing what we know about them, we can get a little bit closer to what they had discovered, because those are some amazing things.
Yes. And in a world where the learning institutions will discourage any kind of stuff like this.
No free thinking. You must submit.
So it's amazing that it ever came up. It's amazing anyone ever was able to do anything.
Don't want no education.
So Jake Waters says it's true that someone from the Vatican. Is it true that someone from the Vatican created the chronovisor? It's true that two Vatican priests, Armedi and Gemelli, were the ones that they accessed a past sound event. One of their fathers said, "My little zucchini." They were studying Gregorian chants with sound equipment from the 30s and 40s, and they got this sound from the past. They brought it to the Pentagon. Then they worked it out into the chronovisor. They probably worked it out the chronovisor and incorporated the chronoscope with it to get the visual. That's probably
once you get into one wavelength, you can probably find the others. I mean, if you've been able to travel time, a little bit of a wavelength between.
Well, the sound of light is different because the sound of light go at different speeds, so you'd have to.
No, but it's a different wavelength, basically. Yeah. The wavelength defines a speed, so you can. I mean, the different wavelengths of white light goes at a different speed from red light. Blue light goes at a different speed as well, and so you can actually make those micro adjustments. Once you find the sound, the rest we can develop, knowing what we know now. I mean, that's different from what most people know or what people knew a couple hundred years ago. But yeah, it's all just bizarre.
Yeah, it's freaky. You know, I was shocked
We
when
don't even know what the Vatican is into, because after all, they've got that Lucifer telescope. There's a binocular thermal telescope in Antarctica.
Mhm.
Now that one's bizarre. What are they looking for?
anything
That's
they can
better.
find, anything. Yeah, I when I first found out about this gal, Charlotte, I was like, wow. I didn't believe it. I thought, oh, this is fake. They're just copying Andrew's story, right? But apparently it's true. And he was actually briefed on it. So that's freaky. It's freaking me out. Hi, Becky. Becky's in the house. We got 18 people. And we got 21 likes. Who is the magician here? That's what I want to know.
You are the magician. It's your show, Aaron.
Make sure you like with all of your puppet accounts. Right.
22 likes on my count.
Yeah. 22. Yeah. 22. We got 18 people. Of course, some people might have tuned out. Maybe they had something else to do. Some emergency. Right? Why would you want to miss this, right?
Everything is vibration. The chair you're sitting on is not solid. Absolutely.
You got time.
Completely agree with that.
Time machines coming your way here. Look at that.
But we are on a time machine. We're moving constantly forward through time. We just need to figure out the transmission so we can shift it and maybe into even reverse.
If this was a little darker green, it would just fade right into that background.
Well, almost there. Yeah, that looked pretty cool though.
This one's
that floating in the middle of nothing there. Oh, now that one stands out. It's not the same tone of green.
Yeah, that's yellow. This is green. But yeah,
there you go. But that one almost disappeared in the background last time whenever you went back. So not against your forehead, but against the there you go.
Yeah.
Then you just got the letters. Exactly. You just got the letters that showed up. Everything was kind of faded. That was cool.
The thing that really works are my super cubes. They're green.
Oh, that one was wicked cool. You did that the other day, and that seriously freaked me out because you had that third eye going on in the middle. Yeah, that was cool.
Isn't that cool?
That. Oh, dude, put the Q in the middle of your forehead. Now that would be bizarre.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. There you go. The Q in the middle of the forehead.
Yeah.
No, it's too big. You can. Yeah, it's
look,
the size of your head.
Thinking about you. Oh, it can't go up that high. No.
But that'll work. No, I hadn't thought about your super cube until you actually did that. That was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, these are
Dark Brain and Dale's Volt are going into some serious things. Oh, that's the green.
The green one and the blue one. The blue one you can see, the green one you can't.
There you go. The green one is part of the green screen.
So what are they talking about? Technically, it's all solid, but a solid is almost empty space. Yeah. Hi, Susan. How you doing? Good to see you here. Becky?
Okay, sorry. Dark Brain made a comment there that I was thanking him for the reminder. There is a difference between sound and light waves because of their propagation. Major Facepalm is chiming in. Yeah, but okay, on the last thing with Dark Brain, technically it's all solid, but solid is mostly in empty space. That would be the space between the electron fields and the protons, and we don't even get close to those because we're only on the interactions on the outer electron fields, which don't actually technically touch ever. So we never actually come into contact with everything that we feel we come into contact with. We just react with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if you think about everything as an electromagnetic universe, then it gets really bizarre.
You and I
for example, if we can see through time, would we be able to go through materials? I don't know. That's two different things. But I mean, hell, if one technology is advanced, why wouldn't the other one be?
Right. My big question is, how many gigabytes does it take to store all the jokes that I know. How many gigabytes? I don't know.
I don't think there's enough gigabyte capacity in the server farms to actually store that amount of
Gigabyte. Now, a gigabyte is just for
factors.
humor. It's a humorous thing. So only
I understand that, but your dad humor has a tendency. I mean, I even started on.
I agree. My dad joke thing. It's pretty bad. I know. But you know what?
No,
I've been locked up here forever, and I finally got out the other day. And let me tell you what happened. I walked into this bar, and like I haven't been in a bar in a long time. So I walked in this bar, and I hear all these nice things being said, like, "Ooh, nice hair. Hey, I like your tie. Hey, you're a snappy dresser." I'm like looking around going,
who are they talking about?
I couldn't see anybody, and I'm kind of freaking out. The bartender comes and he takes my order, and I said, "Say, bartender, I walked in here. I hear all these nice things, but I can't see anybody that's saying them. What's with that?" He said, "Oh, that's just the peanuts. They're complimentary."
Oh, that one hurt.
Oh yeah,
the peanuts.
That's a good one.
But yeah,
that's a dad joke for sure.
No, but beer and peanuts, definitely a great combination. So I get that one. That one's cool. No, but every time that Jake asks me how I'm doing, I always answer him with your line. So last time he called me Aaron because it's a funny line. I enjoy that one.
Major Facepalm says, Aaron, bad dad jokes are infinite. Yes, he gets the infinity. Yes.
That's the gigabytes.
And that's it. That's the
gigabytes.
It's like a sideways G. Perfect. Wow. Don't listen to Penna. You got the best dad jokes, Jake Waters says.
You do. It's it's amazing.
Yes. Aaron is raising awareness. Yes, it's all about eating.
Raising awareness.
Eating dried grapes. It's all about raising awareness. Eating dried grapes. Yeah, eat dried grapes.
Hey, but they're good for you. I mean, raisins are excellent food.
Yeah, but they got that pesticide all over them. You know?
It depends on where they're made. I mean, you can't just buy any raisins. I mean, come on, dude. Haven't you made your own?
Made my own raisins?
Yeah.
No.
Just grow the grapes and leave them out in the sun. Hope the birds don't get them.
Could be. Dark Brain says Aaron's jokes being so massive would collapse into a singularity. So they can all be stored at an infinite small point in space.
And we can put that into the middle of a crystal. And you can have the gigabytes stored on a crystal.
Maybe my vast amount of jokes in my brain could be some reason to save, to save my life towards the end, just to save all that.
Aaron, what you don't understand is that your gigabyte factory is actually generating multiverses.
That's true.
Okay. So you are generating different tangential lines of the multiverse into your own daddyverse of gigabytes.
Yes, I would have to agree with you. Even though I don't understand, I would definitely agree. Definitely.
You're better at the jokes than I am. People would usually have to understand the jokes to get them, but anyway.
Yeah.
That's the fun part. What else are we talking about tonight, Aaron, besides things that'll get us in trouble?
Let's see. What can we talk about? What about, that nothing burger of disclosure? Of course, that was only, that study was started so they could have something to disclose eventually. Started in 2004.
Yeah, but screw what the government tells us. What do we know about it? What do you think about the Tic Tac? I think it's one of our drones.
Yeah, I think it's stupid, and I think they're going to be playing that for 50 years. They'll be playing that stupid thing. I think it's dumb. I think it's really stupid and dumb, and And
No, it's completely superficial. It's just like they admitted, oh, we know the aliens are real, but we don't know where they come from. We know that these
yeah,
UFOs are not ours or anybody else's, but we don't know anything about them.
yeah,
Yeah, tell us something we don't know, dumbass. Like back in 1963, we already knew what you're telling us right now. So let's
yeah,
get up to speed, Bubba.
right. Exactly. That needs to
Jake, we could get into that. I mean, Aaron's halfway there. He's Elvis. He's got all his Elvis gigs and everything else. We can do sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but I don't know where the sex would come in. I mean, anyway,
I don't
but
know
that's
about
just Jake.
that.
He's just still mad at me. I'm thinking maybe,
Yeah.
and deservedly so, because yeah, I don't watch my mouth as much, and I say things that Big Brother doesn't like.
We got to get that shock collar for Penna over here. That shock collar.
I'm sure Jake would more than willingly chip in for that. Definitely.
Yeah. Major Facepalm says Aaron's dad jokes give fundamental credence to string theory and migraine headaches. I said, just kidding, Jacob Waters says.
Yeah, that was to me. Yeah, I know. It's all love, Jake. We're on Thursday, right? We missed tonight, but he's still recording. He'll just start posting once he's allowed to post again.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the meantime, he's been showing up on all kinds, including yours, which is why I'm here tonight, Aaron, because after all, to give you credence, you are the reason why we started our channel after all. Because it all started with a chat right here on Truth Quest. And things that we couldn't say or talk about here on Truth Quest because your channel was too important to get knocked down with the kind of banter and chat that we were doing. So we took things out to the edge and we got slapped back hard. And so, yeah, we're learning. But always kudos to you, Aaron.
Thanks.
We hope to keep up. That's all there is to it. Or as you say, if we're doing any better, we'd be you.
There you go. Jacob Waters says, Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarty. I've already purchased one. It will be here in 3 days. I don't know what he's
That's
talking
another thing. I'm so jealous of you, Aaron. You got merch, man. You got your own merch.
Oh, it's easy. Go to storefrontier.com. Storefrontier.com. You can make your own.
I'll put some of the biblical text on a t-shirt, see if people like those.
I might put one of my quotes. Being judgmental is being judgmental. I like that one.
Well, that's I mean, that Luke Lewandowski, he got demonetized like a decade ago, but he's making his money off the shirts. That's what he does. Now we got.
Go ahead.
Oh, now we've also got Jacob Israel, who's focused solely on that, and he's working on. He's got his book that he's plugging in his cups, and he's got a couple of shirts. Then you got, and we know that's bankrolling off all kinds of merch that they've got going on, and it's the shirts, it's the things that people use. It's not selling them something that's just going to be, but it's what people actually use. I mean, you got to wear something. Why not something that'll be nice, not something that's completely obtuse. I don't know. Nobody's going to be wearing this in public, but maybe a t-shirt with something funny or something decent on it, they'd be willing to put on. I mean, I know when I was in the States, I used to buy shirts all the damn time. Now I don't buy squat other than the bare necessities, but that's a whole another story. So yeah, congratulations to you, Aaron. When I saw you doing that and you were standing up showing your aliens as the Beatles shirt, that was pretty cool. I like that. So congratulations, man.
Thanks.
Moving up in the world, definitely.
Yeah, well, I did have another shop on Teespring, but they took my 3 shops down.
Why?
They never gave a reason, and when I asked them about it, they reinstated it, but my shops were empty and I was not allowed to put anything in the shops. So it kind of was kind of a waste, but yeah, so here's
But you still have the designs that you gave to them at that time, right?
I got all new designs now.
Oh, okay.
I got too many ideas. So here's
you got the tie-dye going. That's
yeah,
pretty sweet.
and there's
I
different.
like that tie-dye Truth Quest, man. I'm gonna pick up one of those.
Oh,
Definitely.
really? Awesome.
That looks awesome. I'd wear that.
That's cool. I like that Grays one with that looks like the Beatles album. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. But yeah,
I remember when you told me about that. That's a nice layout.
Thanks. Yeah, just copied the Beatles. That's all.
With your own touch, after all. I mean, all the little touches of what is it? Cosmic Records?
No, it's Celestial Records instead of Capitol Records. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So with your own touches. So that's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Whenever you finally got that on the shirt, I think that image is actually better just on white.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there's this contrast between the black and white square with the tie-dye. It doesn't necessarily.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But
that's just me. Good. Yeah. The Q does look better on that. Yeah.
I always like Q personally. That's just me.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah. Very cool. Let's see here. I guess I don't have any other. Wait a minute. Here it is. Here it is. This is. Oh, no. I gotta do that. Darn it. Okay. It's always something, isn't it? Which I have to do here. Okay. I gotta stop sharing. And click over here.
All this new software and equipment y'all got, and I'm just, I can't even keep up.
I don't have software, dude. All I have is my YouTube channel and Zoom. That's it. I don't have any third-party streaming software. I don't. I tried looking into it, but I just don't know enough about it.
It's this learning curve, man, and it's sometimes it can be a serious pain in the butt. Because I'm still trying to put the subtitles in different languages onto my YouTube channels, which is an option that I didn't have on Rumble. I couldn't actually put the subtitles in Rumble. YouTube actually gives me that option, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I'd still got to do the work. So that's it, little by little things appear, and we learn and we improve and we grow.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Speaking of, I really enjoy your aircraft.
Thanks.
How many seats is that actually? Because I'm looking at dozens of windows.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to be an actual airplane, but the fuselage and everything else could be a spaceship as well. I mean, that looks pretty awesome. So you're the captain, you're sitting in the captain's seat. That's just the perfect visualization. And that overhead thing just accents your hair in just a absolutely
blue
perfect
light.
way.
Yeah,
exactly. It's just,
I got these blue, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a blue, you can't see it, it's too blue. It's got a blue filter on it, so it gives me that blue cast.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you got your own studio setup going on. So you got your own lights and everything else.
My daughter got me this. I don't know if it's not gonna. It's too incredibly bright. Yeah, it's LED thing.
I've got lighting issues here as well, and so that's something that I'm always trying to work on as well. So I'm thinking about some lights just like that and that sort of thing. So everything that I'm thinking about, you're already doing. I'm like,
no. I didn't
catch up.
I didn't do. I can't take credit for that. I was here in my kitchen studio when my daughter was living here recently. She needed a place to live for a while, so she always welcome here. So is my son anytime they want. But don't tell them that. And so I'm trying to make these lights work, and I have this light fixture right over here in my kitchen, and it's just too intense. So I was asking my daughter, Alicia, do you have any like blue semi-clear plastic that I can put over the the lights to kind of dim it down a little bit. I still need the light, but I don't need it so bright and white. And I had like I still have it up there, a blue rubber glove around one of the light bulbs and some blue tissue paper around the lights. They're LED lights.
You know what I did back in my day? I put the Alaskan flag in front of it because it's a nice dark blue flag with gold stars. And so that actually dims the color a little bit. If you get not a thick fabric, but sort of a see-through kind of fabric, it might actually dim the light down and it'll make it a little bit more bluish, and it'll be a decoration. I don't know. I like the Alaska flag. It's the Big Dipper. It's just cool.
Okay. Well, so then my daughter sees my little get up here and she goes, "Oh my God!" So for Father's Day, she got me these lights, which was she always has very thoughtful gifts. She's a great kid. So
that's pretty sweet. I mean, we see that you get all teared up when you start to disappear. You become just a head.
Oh yeah, was I disappearing again? Oh, my light.
It was funny. You were the floating head, man. It was awesome. You were talking about your daughter, and it was just you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think you didn't have that light on, that something like that. But
yeah,
it was
light here. I probably had that off.
It just sort of faded. It's not doing it now. It was just an effect of the time of the moment. That was just kind of funny to see.
Oh, there it goes.
There it goes. Starting
Yeah.
Starting to.
It's like when Captain Kirk was stuck in that space. He was floating. Remember that? He was like a ghost.
That.
He was like
oh my God.
Yeah.
All those Star Trek movies and the shows themselves, the special effects and everything else, they don't compare anywhere close to today's. Even, I mean, this technology that we're using right now that made my hand disappear was originally developed by George Lucas back in the 70s. I mean,
yeah.
How long did it take us to develop? I mean, seriously. Did it take us 40 years to actually make 50 years almost to make this into a household thing? How long does it take for the chronovisor for us to be able to look into the past? I mean, 100 years isn't enough for us to have this technology available to us.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense at all. I mean, it shouldn't even be a thing to argue about or talk about. It just should be done,
Yeah, but people need to maintain control, and that's my biggest beef with everything. And that's the reason that I usually say the stupid shit that I do, because I don't like people to control others. God put us down here with free will. We've got our duties and our opinions and the things that we need to go through on an individual basis. We can try and influence others and tell others different things, but we cannot force or obligate others to go along with our mandates. That's the basic premise of the existence that we're in. And so when you got people wanting to order others around, I got a serious problem with that. Right? You might say that I got control issues. Yeah, maybe. That's why I'm living in the middle of my forest.
Most guys do. Most guys do. It's a guy thing. Right?
But it's also not necessarily most guys, because most American guys, because that's also a cultural thing. I mean, remember, I was brought up in Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah, right.
Don't tread on me. I got my space, you got yours, respect each other, and we're all good. Whenever you go to other places like in Mexico or Brazil and different things, the cultures are a little bit different. So it's here in Brazil, for example, they're a lot more subservient to the state because they already went through a military dictatorship, and culturally they're aware that the state can actually stomp you out if you go out of line. So they tiptoed for a couple of generations. Now this generation seems like the generation of the 60s or 80s in the US, to where they've grown up in a sense of freedom. They don't know what the inflation of the 80s was and the military government of the 60s through the 80s was. And they've grown up in a relatively stable and growing and successful country for the last, 15 years, relatively. I mean, growing as fast as other countries? No, not at all. We're still behind, but we're growing. Whereas this country wasn't used to that for a while. So yeah, this generation that's growing up now doesn't know the hardships that their country actually faced. And the problem is those hardships are about to face everybody. Because the only reason that the US didn't have those hardships because we were the reserve currency that allowed us to do the stupid fiscal shit that we did. Because everything on the dollar, so the dollar's always going to be high. Great. Congratulations. That's low interest rates. That means a cheap house. That means cheap computers. That means cheap everything. And you can put everything on credit. Congratulations. The rest of the world doesn't work like that. They can't work like that because they actually depend on, we can't import more than we export. Otherwise, our currency devalues. That's the general rule of economics. Now, the US is going to fall into that because it's no longer going to be the reserve currency if it actually goes fucking bankrupt. So people are going to have to learn to live like my grandparents did through the 1930s, 1940s. It's not that bad if you're actually prepared and everything else, but if you're caught unawares, it can hurt. You look at what was the guy, Charlie Chaplin, right? You remember him?
Sure.
So, he was the great storyteller and everything else, but when everybody else was suffering, he was okay, and he felt guilty about that. But at the same time, he had prepared his things before and to be in spite of the hardships that were to come. And that's the thing about the individuality. We have to be able to prepare as individuals for anything that is to come, because there are very uncertain times. I mean, we just look at Taiwan and the things that are going on over there as a result of what the resident-in-chief decided to do last week. We just got to keep our head in a swivel, but that's just me being serious all the time. Sorry, let's get back to something a bit lighter, Aaron. After all, it's your gig.
Right. Yeah, I'm sharing this out to some groups too, to get some more eyes on.
Well, yeah. Speaking of eyes, you were on YouTube. Now you're on Rumble. You said you weren't able to get all your episodes up on Rumble, but you're working on that.
Yeah.
Are you getting any other platforms online as well? You've got some of your
not
videos.
Yet. No, not yet. I'm kind of running into a little technological brick wall. I need to maybe get a new computer. Possibly.
I had a problem with that with mine, and I increased the RAM. I put 20 gig RAM.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible on this one. Yeah,
but we love you on YouTube, so there's no problem there. And welcome to Rumble, where there is free speech, and you don't get people taken down for saying the wrong stuff. But
we hope. We hope. I mean, some people, they have done some people's, I think.
Oh, you have to be really, really out there in order to get taken down. I mean, stuff that's literally illegal, yeah, you'll get taken down, but most normal people don't get into that point. I missed the chat. Let me get back in there.
Yeah, let's see over the chat here. Ron Popeil. Yeah, you can see Ron Popeil commercials now. Yeah, you can see those now. The Pocket Fisherman. I had one of those. A couple of them. They broke real quick. Popeil Pocket Fisherman, and he had all kinds of cool things, And my inventing didn't start just with the time machine. I'm a toy inventor, game inventor, and also other products too. And I shot commercials. Do you see some of my old commercials? Have you seen some of the commercials I shot?
Yeah, you did show me some of those. Sorry, I had gotten lost in the commercials. And sorry, Edward Taylor. Yes, I am too serious. That's why I also mentioned I'll try and lighten up. Beyond 2000 was a great show. Sorry, I was catching up on the chat.
Oh, yeah. Chaplin doing the dictator speech. Yeah, that is pretty amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, I did see your advertisements. You showed a lot of them to me before when we were on the private chats before you were actually a big wig on YouTube and everything else. So yeah, you
I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm a big wig, but those are from my, if we're talking about the same ones, are from my cable access days where
yeah, exactly.
fake commercials.
I remember they were funny. They were definitely funny. I remember watching those. Some were kind of bizarre to watch you, and it was your wife that was acting in one of those, wasn't it?
Yeah, my wife is in one of them. Yeah, yeah, in the Splint.
Exactly. Everybody was participating. It was a great moment to see.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty good. So if you're curious about that, friends, just go to my my YouTube channel and go to all videos and scroll way down to the bottom, and you'll find in my ancient history, you'll find what look like commercials, but they're kind of like spoofs, kind of like satire. So imagine
no satire in your
imagine
jokes.
that.
None
How could
whatsoever.
that be? From a serious guy like me? Come on. How could that
No,
be? Hey,
definitely
Corbin
not.
Phoenix is in the house. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Corbin,
Hello.
check out Corbin's channel too. He's a great musician. You're related to Prince. He's related to Prince, by the way.
Well, if he's related to Prince, he's got good genes.
Yeah, and good vests,
Purple
and good
jeans.
jackets too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. He's a cool dude. Corbin Phoenix. Let's see. Yeah. Sometimes you get lost.
Silent actors had the most impact. Now, why is that? That's an interesting little rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about Charlie Chaplin and the fact that his were the silent movie days.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got, the speakies, and we've got the colorized, and not only colorized, but in 3-dimensional, and we've got green screens, and we've got CGI, and we've got everything to create everything that we want to, but at the same time we're not conveying the same kind of message that somebody like Charlie Chaplin conveyed.
Yeah.
When you watch those movies, and it doesn't matter what language you speak, you understand it immediately.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but look at what he did when he did a talkie. He did that great dictator speech, So I think he made just as much impact with his voice as he did with his silent acting.
Oh yeah, he outside of the movies, he was also a very big personality as well, charismatic and everything else. Unfortunately, he was extremely left-leaning, and some would consider it communist, but that's very bizarre considering that he was a millionaire when everyone else was broke during the Depression. So that's neither here nor there. But the things that he mentioned, the things that he saw about humanity, they don't go away. People are the same today as what they were back then. They need the same love today as what they needed back then. They need the same, don't be afraid, it's going to be okay type of thing that they needed back then. Because life was rough 100 years ago. Life is also rough for many today as well. So we all need a way to get out and get away and look at life from a little bit better angle. So that's why I usually try and show the garden, maybe.
Yeah. That's cool.
Like I don't know if I've told you that. Jake knows this, but that's actually my garden. I'm looking at it right over there. So
that's awesome.
It's one of the reasons for being where I ended up being, which is very different. I can't roam around in a spacecraft or a jet or everything else and have access to all kinds of stuff.
All you need is a green curtain. That's all you need.
Yeah, I'm pretty grounded. Even if I had a jet, I don't know if I would. I love the forest, my garden, the oxygen, the trees. I mean, I remember that video that you did with me. You saw that big brown thing that came across the screen, and you saw it. I ended up showing Jake on one of our interviews. It was my pet Jacques, him eating out of the bowl and shows himself off in the garden and that sort of thing. We were actually able to film one that was during the day. Usually, obviously, at this time it's 2:00 in the morning here in Brazil, so it's dark. So none of this garden actually shows up. So we actually started filming during the day one time, and yeah, I was actually able to show Jake, and I think it was Leo that we were talking to, or was that Jimmy? Jake, you'll answer me in the chat. But yeah, Jake's pretty busy on lots of places.
Cool.
What's Corbin crying about?
I don't know.
Worried about the kids. I need to go back up, I think. I missed some stuff.
Something's happening there.
All right, dictator speech. It's Corbin. Man, it sucks. I have to be reading while we're online and everything else. People are looking at the camera and me looking at the screen. That's just bizarre.
Let's see. I'm gonna do something.
Just worried about the future. Okay, yeah, they're all worried about the future. Okay.
The future. Well, they can get the time machine in a couple days, and they can go into the future, right?
It was Jimmy Rizzo's show that we actually were able to see the garden. That's the thing that I'd asked Jacob, but that's what I was looking for. So he was on British time, which is why I was earlier. That makes it, that's understandable, because the guy is just south of Scotland. So yeah, Jake's getting all over the place. He's got contacts from all over the place. It's a good thing. But yeah, about the future. Look, every generation has its hardships, and it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. Life continues on, and the most important thing is the structure of family and your immediate society, your friends, the ones that you count on, the ones that you depend on, the ones that you need. Your little society. Because no matter what government is or what time it is, you survive, and your memories are based on your family and friends, those around you, the ones that you interact with. Mm-hmm. That is what makes you a reality. So if you're worried about your kids' future, make sure they got good friends. Make sure that the family is united. Make sure that, they have somebody to depend on. Make sure that they're not, like Les Miserables, where they have to steal a loaf of bread to stay, to feed their family. That was 250 years ago. That's not too long ago. People were starving to death. In fact, in many places, people are doing that now. So be grateful for what we actually have, but also prepare, because nothing lasts forever. But having friendships and family around, that's what gets us through any and all times that are before and around us. Sorry, Aaron, go ahead. I interrupted.
No, you didn't interrupt. I was just going to say, looking into the future, how about we step into the past? Let's say back to 1911. 1911 was the year Louis Chevrolet built the only two cars he ever built, the Chevrolet.
Seriously?
Yeah.
The only two, 1911.
Also, this film was made in 1911. Check this out. This is incredible.
See it.
Uh-oh. We're going to get here it is. Look at this. It's like from a suspended train in Germany. Isn't that incredible? They colorized it.
Man. That's incredible.
Isn't that wild?
That looks like the L in Chicago.
Yeah. It's
but wait a second. This train is actually running from the roof. It's not
yes,
it's suspended.
Yes. And this
Holy
is,
cow.
there's people walking underneath it, and this still runs today. See the people underneath on
Holy
carriages?
cow.
Yeah.
There you go. They're oh wow.
And we think
That's
we're
just awesome.
futuristic. I believe this is from 1911.
Why do we don't have that? That is not unfeasible.
1902. I'm sorry, 1902.
Go to the flying train in Germany. That is freaking awesome.
Isn't this incredible? Talk about a time capsule.
What? Yeah. See, we see that from 100 years ago, and it seems futuristic because it's nothing like that we have today, and that would solve so many
We
problems.
do have this today. It exists today, but it was built back then. Look at all the stuff they built back then. Look at this stuff. I mean, this is incredible. We can do amazing things.
Look at those steel structures. I mean, that is pure beams. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if we got enough iron for that nowadays.
the whole thing is just held up like that. Isn't that incredible? It just works.
Well, that's awesome engineering. Now, time is going to have its effect because gravity and time have
Still
an effect
works.
on every
Still
single
working.
physics.
It's still working. Apparently.
Got to maintain it. But yeah, that is
Look
excellent.
at this coming in right on top there. You coming over this now?
No, I remember going up the ski lifts in Switzerland. It's kind of similar, but it's that this is huge. This is a train. This is a suspended train.
Now you're over water.
That is
The
awesome.
cushion is also a flotation device in the train here.
Yeah. That's good when the entire train sinks like a rock, right?
Yeah, look at that. They had to build this into the water like this. I mean, this is to think about the engineering of this took. Oh my!
But it's Germany. Yeah, I mean, it's good engineering because it's Germany.
Incredible engineers. All the toys from Germany are just incredible too. Even the toys.
They have no life or sense of humor, but their engineering is absolutely incredible.
I think they do.
Oh, I know. I worked with some Germans and in Germany for a while, and that was. But yeah, they roll up the streets on some of those cities at 9 o'clock at night. 10 o'clock, the only restaurant that was open was a Greek restaurant. That's because he was Greek. It's not like in Dallas, 2 o'clock in the morning, you go out and get, Taco Bell, or whatever, any taco place, you name the taco, whatever, and it's usually open 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Not in Germany. After 10 o'clock at night, it was even hard finding bars. I had to actually, the hotel that we were staying at was a little bed and breakfast. And so I talked to the owners and, they gave me the keys to the bar and we handled the bar that night.
Bed and breakfast. Do you like bed and breakfast? Now, the closest thing I ever came to bread and breakfast was I had a Mega McMuffin in a sleeping bag once. That's the closest I ever came to it.
That is a pretty awesome bed and breakfast. I bet you the roof was spectacular.
Yeah, the company was okay.
Company was okay. Oh, well, okay. All right. Sleeping bag for two, I'm assuming. But I was talking about the roof as far as the sky, the stars.
The sky. Okay, yeah.
That would be absolutely incredible because you're in a sleeping bag, you're camping, you're out in nature. And
actually, I didn't really do that. It's just my joke. I just made the joke up. I thought it was kind of funny. But
whoops. Yeah, me and my lack of sense of humor. I apologize, folks.
No worries.
Delayed rattle thing going on.
Hey, Anna Marie's here. Hi, Anna Marie. Thanks for joining us. Oh, Becky says, Aaron, did you see my painting comment? No, I did not see your painting comment.
Go back and look at that.
Scroll back. Let's see, Becky.
Shots been flying. I already missed a bunch.
Yeah, I'm not very good at keeping up with the chat. I'm sorry, people. If you want to get my attention, the super chats really kind of get your attention. Sad to say, but it's true.
Usually.
Because it's bright and it pops up, and otherwise it's just words going by. I'm not seeing it. Because I'm talking. Yeah, hard for me to multitask here, so I'm not sure what the painting idea was. Let me go back to So, aloha, Anna Marie says. Aloha too. Anna Marie's a good friend of mine. Are you muted? No.
No, I was listening to you and reading the chat.
Okay, I was watching the YouTube, and you were talking. I didn't hear you. I forgot. There's a delay. Silly.
Between the Zoom and these, yeah, because I actually shrunk the YouTube to where I'm actually only watching the chat on the YouTube.
Okay.
And it's covering up my face, so I don't have to look at my ugly mug. Everybody else can. But still, I'm sitting here reading the chat because that's some interesting stuff.
Becky did answer. She said, Jacob Waters said, Becky painted a picture representing child abuse and trafficking. I would like to do something positive with it. Well, good. Make it into a t-shirt. Put it on.
Yeah. Those. Oof.
What?
I prefer to focus on the aloha. Anna Marie is from Hawaii, I'm assuming then.
Well, she spent some time in Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's always a good thing. It comes down. There was
if you ever want to hear a very funny story, have Anna Marie tell you about the times that she drove for her brother. Maybe she won't
for her brother.
Maybe she wouldn't like me saying that, but.
Well, in that case, tell us a story, and Anna Marie can tell us if it's true in the chat.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'll just let everyone wonder. I'll just throw that out there. Major Facepalm says, Aaron, that O2 video looks like the 1980s music video, Take On Me. Yeah, there you go. That was a great video.
I like that one.
That was it.
Actually,
I can't believe that guy got throat cancer. You know? The guy.
What, was he a smoker or what?
I don't know, but he had like a 6-octave range, and he got throat cancer. It's like so sad. So sad.
Speaking of which, I got to go to the car and get a couple of cigs.
Okay.
Give me a couple of minutes.
All right.
I gotta give my throat cancer a little feeding.
Okay. Well, you know what? You said it's like 2:00 there. It's 12:30 here. I think maybe it might be a good time to put a halt to this pony. What do you think? Oh, he's gone. Well, I guess we'll wait till he gets back. Oh yeah, and all the proceeds to stopping it. Yeah, start like a GoFundMe or something, or and they get that as a T-shirt, or they can print it as a poster for events. Now, I did a Save the Children rally last year. I didn't do one this year yet. And he's back.
I always keep some spares in the car, so I just went off to grab them quickly. And I heard you say something about time, and I got worried, so I ran.
That's okay. I was gonna go. I might as well wrap it up, but
no, it's not like I got to go to the store or anything. No, it's just later on, most likely. But usually, I'd smoke like half of one, leave it in the car, and that sort of thing. So I store them around. So whenever I'm out, I've always got some that are around. So that's my little thing.
Becky says it's not obviously graphic. Okay, good. We need more awareness, and art is a great way to do it.
Absolutely. We need to bring awareness to the darkness that is completely taken over. But we also want to. For example, a lot of the stuff about that's going on nowadays, I'll talk to my kid and he doesn't believe me. He thinks I'm nuts, and that's fine. And whenever I talk to my wife, I'm like, I'm glad he thinks I'm nuts, because that means that he lives in a world where those things aren't real. I know those things are real, and they're scary as shit. And it makes me worry and protect and do even more than what I would normally do. He doesn't know any of that, and so he doesn't believe it, and he lives in this other imaginary reality where everything is calm and peaceful and tranquil. And I thank God for that, because he's not faced with the mental burden of having to deal with this seriously dark and sinister stuff. That is a nice shirt. That black background, I like it.
Yeah.
The tie-dye really worked with the Q, but the black works with both of them.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
It really did. And you know, I was showing this to show Becky, you know, you could get them on t-shirts, and you know, all the money that you make from the t-shirts, you could have go to your cause too, you know, and do like a GoFundMe or something. That's what I would do. And get whatever to happen that you need to happen, to the awareness to stop this horrible thing from happening. Would be great. But yeah, I'm looking at putting some more.
But what organizations are there to actually stop? I mean, yeah, we know that the trafficking exists. We know that there are federal organizations that are supposed to stop it. They haven't for the last 30, 40, 50, 120 years, whatever, 300 years. This shit's existed forever, and we haven't ever been able to stop it. Why?
Yeah, they can track and trace anyone with a virus, but they can't track and trace people who've done horrible things to children. Really? Why? Yeah, it's.
We can't keep a hold of our kids. You know, how many kids go missing every year? I mean, my wife had a dream of going to Disney, and so we saved up and we took our kids and we showed them Disney. And now I went to Disney when I was 16. It was a fun place to be, Epcot Center, and you know, the international community. You've got, you know, all the Chinese exhibit and the Canadian exhibit and the Mexican exhibit, or the Mayan exhibit.
Yeah.
It's nice stuff. But I was worried the entire time I was there, because I know what that place is about and how many kids go missing, you know, every week, every month, every year, you know. And so at the same time that you want to have fun, you can't have fun. And that's, it's a bizarre place to be in. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad my kids.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just saying goodnight to Mud Rabbit.
Oh yeah, she's it's 1:30 in Florida.
Yeah, I think we should probably tie it up here too, and call it.
Thank you very much, Aaron. I appreciate the invite, and
no problem. It's a pleasure. Thank you, Mr. Penna.
Much.
And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Everyone, keep looking up. Keep your eyes open. And keep looking for disclosure. It's going to happen any day. We're all part of it. Spread the word. Share this out. Tell all your friends. Wake your neighbors. Tell them to subscribe, or else. And just kidding. Just tell them to subscribe.
Peace in.
Have all their sock puppet accounts also subscribe. That would be great. Thank you very much. Peace in.